Good evening, everyone. It looks like it is 8 o'clock. Welcome to the Spiritual Growth Podcast. This is episode 3, and I am so excited to have you all here. Everything looks like it is working properly, so we will go ahead and get started tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Felicia Carter, and I am with Lioness Creation Designs, Ka-Age Institution, Chakra and Love Healing, the podcast, Spiritual Growth Podcast, Kill Baby, and Bye Bye Belly. So I'm going to give you all just a few minutes to come on in while I send some invites out to some people so that they can come on and hop on. But I hope that everyone is having a fantastic evening so far. I am ready to go ahead and get started because tonight I want to go ahead and start talking about. I want to go ahead and start talking about shadow work because that is something that everyone should be doing. If they have not, then go ahead and get started, especially if you are spiritual and you want to really start on the right path. And I hope that you all can hear me. And if not, let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. I got the music on, so I was trying something different with the podcast, and I just want to make sure that everything is good for you all. And for some reason, it's not cooperating. Okay. I don't know. Let me try it this way. Hello, hello, hello. If you are just joining, go ahead and let me know that you are watching our podcast live by putting a number 1 in the chat. And if you come back and you watch the replay, go ahead and let me know by putting a number 2 in the chat. I would love to know who all is here tonight and who, where you're tuning in from. And if you have any questions pertaining to shadow work before we get started, hello, hello, hello. Make sure that you also go ahead and you share the podcast out tonight so that others can get the opportunity to, they get the opportunity to come on and watch as well. Is not, I'm unable to tag from here, so I will tag from my phone real quick so that it doesn't take too long. I want to make sure that I get started on the episode tonight. I know you all are excited to talk about shadow work. I am, of course, not an expert in shadow work, but I have started on shadow work, and I think that has made a tremendous difference in the way that I respond to things. So, if you have heard of shadow work, also go ahead and let me know that as well. If you have not, let me know that too. All right, Northern Canada. I didn't know you were all the way in Canada. That's amazing. What time is it in Canada? Is it still around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Well, 8 p.m. there, or is it a different time? Sorry about that. And also, if you have someone that you know that you want to go ahead and have watch the podcast, go ahead and tag them in the chat. Oh, Belgium. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in so far away. What time is it there? Oh, it's 7:04. Okay. Okay. Y'all are coming from all over. I'm so excited to have y'all here. Yes. All right. University of Life. Okay, awesome. Welcome, welcome, y'all. I'm so ready to go ahead and get started. Um, let's go ahead and start off first with what shadow work is and why it's important. Now I can never remember his name, but let me see. So basically, what shadow work is let's sing. Let's sing what? I might have to turn the comments off while we have a conversation. So shadow work basically is really getting down to know who your true self is, right? This is going to include the dark and the light side of yourself. A lot of the times, the darker parts of ourselves are the parts that we try to hide from everyone else because we feel ashamed of it. We feel like that part of ourselves is not the best part of ourselves. When in reality, all of the parts of ourselves make us who we are. So all of those parts are good. It's just that, it's the yin and yang. You have to have one to have the other, right? So, like for me, I know that my personality I can be jealous, right? And that part is the part that I don't necessarily like about myself, but I've grown to accept that part of myself. And the only way that you can accept the shadow parts of yourself is by digging deep and figuring out, okay, why do I feel these feelings? Why does it happen, when I this happened? Was it something that is triggering me from previous? And that's why I'm the way that I am. The balance of higher and lower self. Yes, definitely. You know, and a lot of the times we want to shut off the parts of ourselves that we don't want other people to see. And then it becomes a problem in your life where you're going to have those same issues keep popping up in your life and you keep wondering, why does this keep happening to me? It's because you are not accepting all of the parts of yourself. Shadow work can be something very difficult for you if you do not accept that part. If you don't work on those things, it can be, it can be really, really hard. A lot of the times most people get someone else to help them with the shadow work part because it could be a lot of trauma involved. Um, hello, hello. As you all come in, go ahead and just let me know where you're tuning in from. And go ahead and share out this live as well and heart this live as well. I know when I first heard of shadow work, I was like, am I supposed to really sit here and try to figure out all these different aspects? Because it could be very intimidating, you know? And for me, in the beginning of starting this journey, I was like, I'm not going to do that. But I realized that I have to do that in order to move forward because I kept having so many things keep happening in my life. Thank you so much. So let me give like a quick little background, okay? Um I don't know, you know, I have a lot of traumas, right? I think about the things that I've been through in my life with abuse situations and things like that. Where did it all stem from in my life? How did I feel that an abusive relationship was healthy? Why did I feel that, I had to stay in a relationship like that? And it's because a lot of the people in my life, or a lot of the people's lives that I've seen, this is what they went through. This is what they called normal. They stayed in it until the end of time. And some of them are still together, So If they're still with this person, you know, then that to me in my mind was normal. So my brain wired itself to be a certain type of way. You know, if you don't do shadow work will do you. Definitely. I like how you put that. It will definitely do you because it's going to keep on happening. It's going to say, oh, she's not learning and she's not growing from the situations that are happening. Um, I was trying to do shadow work on my own. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna journal out, things that I think have happened to me and this and that. But it really wasn't that simple because for me, I had shut off a lot of things. Like I forgot a lot of what things that happened to me previously. So, I've been in therapy for almost a year and really being able to dig deep. You can also do shadow work through meditation. You can do shadow work through journaling. You could do shadow work a lot of different ways, whatever is going to be best for you. But it's so important to figure out what is going on with you. Why did these things happen? How do you change it, and how do you make it better? How do you make your responses better? Same here. I've experienced a lot of trauma, and a lot of us have, and a lot of us feel like you know the trauma that we've been through is normal, when in reality it's not. Um, some of the negative responses that I have is that if someone yells, I'm quick to respond, or I get a response to where I might feel like I'm gonna cry if someone you know says something really that I don't like. For me, I have a lot of water in my chart, and it makes me very emotional. So with me already being emotional and having some of the traumas that I've been through, I'm very sensitive to a lot. Um, and you try to grow from it. I feel like because I I have been working on a lot of the things that caused me to react in those ways, that it has definitely helped a lot of the situations that I've been in. I have here some things that I have been doing in order to help me with my shadow work. Outside of therapy and stuff, there are other ways that you can do things. But there are shadow work journal prompts that you can use to help yourself do those things. And if I ever get stuck on a question, I will ask my therapist, what is a way that I can maybe respond to this question. And the reason I say that is because I have talked to her about a lot. So she really knows like who I am, what I've been going through. I tell her everything, even the hard stuff. I have, sat there and cried a whole session about the things that I needed to do. Actually, there is a situation, I'm going to tell y'all about it because if I didn't talk to my therapist about the situation, I don't think that that part of my shadow would have been worked out. There was a situation with some family members and my daughter, and I'm not going to say who it was or what they were to her or anything like that. But it was my daughter and some family members. And my daughter, she had some mental health um, going on with her. And so she was over at this family member's house, and she had got into one of her I want to call it like an emotional breakdown, where she was talking, I guess her tone was a certain way, and the family member didn't like it. Basically told her that she needed to stop. And and things really took a turn for not the best situation. It was a situation where you know it got very physical. Um, it was a lot of arguing, and my daughter is young. Some of you may have seen her. These family members are not. And it was a situation where I had completely cut these individuals off altogether for about almost 2 years. And, you know, my daughter, she is so resilient in some ways, because she had a graduation from middle school, and she was like, one of the individuals could come. I don't want you to, you know, have, I want you to be able to be around this particular person because they're family. And I was like, it's not something you have to do. I never asked her to do that. I indeed did not want the family member to be there. Um, so, I mean, we invited that family member. It was civil. And, after that, we really didn't have any communication. And I was okay with that. It was very hard, though, for me. It was a lot of crying, a lot of stress, a lot of, whatever. And then in September of 2023, one of my family members passed, and me and the other family member, I was like, may I have a conversation with you? And they were like, yeah, we didn't do it right then and there. We kind of hugged it out a little bit. And then after that, maybe like a couple weeks later, we went out to go eat. We went to eat and we talked about everything. We talked about everything. Like I felt like at that moment that I needed to tell them about everything that I've ever felt that was negative in my life, right? And I told them exactly how I felt, and then it was the first time for me in a long time that I actually was that honest with someone, that I actually spoke how I felt. Because with me, not expressing myself was something that I was used to doing, not telling people how I felt. I would shut down. I wouldn't say anything. And that person understood. I set some boundaries with that person, like really set some boundaries, and up until this day, like I feel like the boundaries are being respected. I feel like, we don't talk as often, but we still talk. And the conversations are where they need to be. They understand their boundaries with me. And I don't think that I would have I'm not gonna say I don't think. I know that I would not have been able to actually, try to rebuild my relationship with this person, because if I had not already started my shadow work, because it was a really hard time and a really hard situation to try to, just say, I'm gonna forgive this person. No, it had to be, I'm gonna talk with this person, I'm gonna set these boundaries, I'm going to, forgive this person, not forget what happened, but also let them know, like, I'm not playing any games with you. And this is how it's gonna be. All right, let me read some of the comments. Thank you, Alabama, Wisconsin. Thank y'all so much. Um, Same here. I have experienced a lot of trauma. I relate with you. I've cut off most of my family to protect myself and my children. It can be rough. It could definitely be rough, And before, someone had told me, sometimes you have to look at the trauma that the individuals have been through. And if you don't look at that, kind of see them as a person, right? Sometimes you can't do that, and it's understandable, right? You do exactly what you need to. But at the same time, you have to stand firm in what it is that you want. And if cutting off the family is what you have to do to stand firm, then that's what you have to do. And I'm not against it at all. And sometimes I feel like people will say, just because they're family, then you should definitely be, you don't da 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 da, whatever. But I will definitely cut you off if need be. Hearing embrace your neighbor during this story, not sure why. And I feel like I've never heard embrace your neighbor, but it definitely is exactly what you should be hearing, right? Because if it's not your neighbor, it's your family, whatever, make sure that you're setting the boundaries that you need to, though. Make sure that you are standing firm in what it is that you believe. Okay. And the one of the things that helped me with my shadow work, yes, I talk about this a lot. Exactly. And it's true. That's why you talk about it a lot, because it's true. You gotta get that out there, right? I am in no way trying to get anyone to purchase this, but I will tell you guys that if you need to purchase it, it's worth it. Okay. You can find it on Amazon, TikTok, all of that. But this shadow work journal, I think they have the bigger one too. Okay. Yes, I had got this shadow work journal and I didn't think it was really going to help. One of the ways that I was able to talk to this person, I had actually also, like wrote, I had wrote to them um, as well, but it has a lot of different exercises. It has a mirror exercise, reflection exercises. You write a letter to yourself. It really has like the things that you really need to think about, like why did you avoid certain things? What happened in your childhood? What happened with yourself? What can you change? What anxieties do you have? Why do you think you have those anxieties? It asks you a lot of really good questions. But like I said, and it also tells you about it in the beginning. And Carl Jung is the one that I couldn't remember. He is the one who figured out that shadow work was what it was and why you need to do it. He was a psychiatrist and a psychoanalyst. Okay. And he felt that it was good for personal growth. So it's definitely true. I definitely applaud him for figuring that out. And then I also have this book that I read on as well. It's called The Inner Work. And you can also, I think you can also find this on Amazon and TikTok. And it may seem like, okay, like, but why those particular ones? They're actually very good, very detailed. They help you figure out, what it is, what you need to do. But like I'm saying, you can journal about it, you can meditate about it, you can talk to therapists, figure out what it is, why did you have it. A lot of people also have done hypnosis, during their shadow work. Just learn who you are, learn why you have certain triggers. I don't really like that word, but learn why you have certain triggers. Figure out how you can change certain things. Me actually embracing myself and actually loving on myself has made a big difference in how I accept myself. I have to sometimes look in the mirror. Even this book that my son got me for my birthday, and this book was just, I believe, from Five Below. So they also have really good books, but it's just a workbook of mindfulness. It's called Find Your Peace. And even in here, um, there are, pages that help you work on your shadow, navigating your thoughts, and really, you know, getting you to do the work that you need for yourself. It's all about self love, self growth, and really getting down to the nitty gritty. There's so much that you could say about shadow work, but honestly, it's really important for your growth. And without doing it, you will always stay stagnant and stuck in a place. And in this life, we're trying to move forward, we're trying to elevate, and that's what it's all about. Does anyone have any questions? I see that it hasn't been too much commentary unless Facebook is just being really mean. Oh, and I know I forgot to open up my page to public. Does anyone have any questions? This is why I like the live podcast, because I get to actually talk with you all, evolve or repeat. Exactly. I love, love, love that. Let's go ahead and pin that, because that's what it's all about, right? Evolving or repeating the same cycle over and over. You have to choose which one it is that you want to do, right? Does anyone have anything else they want to add about shadow work? Because I feel like I definitely could have missed some things. If anybody would like to put something else in perspective or anything like that as well. I don't know if I can invite anyone on here like we would do on Facebook, but we can take a look and see if anyone wants to hop up here really quickly before we close it out for the night. But if there are questions, let me know. And I know that sometimes Facebook can be kind of slow. I guess I need to check YouTube and make sure there were no questions, because I don't think I can see anything from YouTube. Shadow work is necessary to check your ego and overcome obstacles. Yes, very much. Very much. I do say triggers, seeing things in others that we may not want to see in ourselves. 9 lives. 9 likes it, but that's why it's shadow work. Oh, none likes it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I am reporting, and you know that. Nope, I understood what you were saying. No one. Yep, I understood. I was like, wait a minute. it took me a little second, but I got you. Yep. I love it. I love that you all can respond and add to. I'm thinking about, bringing people on and stuff like that, you know. If that is something, I just need to figure out how to do it on here, because I don't know how to do it on StreamYard. And if anybody has it, then let me know. Because that would definitely make it so much better, that we can, if I can actually see how to invite people. So, all right. If anyone has any questions or anything else they want to add to the podcast tonight, I hope that you all have enjoyed the episode. Oh, and also I know there was a Mother's Day shout out to Ashley. She was shouting out her loved ones for Mother's Day. So I really hope that you did enjoy yourself. I enjoyed doing this episode. Like I said, I am not an expert in everything, but whatever it is that I have experienced or have learned on this journey, I want you all to be a part of it. And also, we're going to bring on others who are going to be able to talk about, what it is that they have experienced on the journey, and any spiritual knowledge, information. That is what Cottage Institution is all about. That is what I'm all about. That's what Lioness Creation Design is all about. Chakra and Love Healing, the podcast, the Spiritual Growth Podcast. That is what we are all about, this community of great people. And I hope that you all enjoy. Until the next episode of Spiritual Growth Podcast, there's my daughter always trying to be in the mix. Yes, we are all learning. Yes, you are so welcome. Victoria says hello. She will not be in all the episodes of the podcast. But I will talk to y'all next week on the next episode of the Spiritual Growth Podcast. I love y'all. You are blocking the light. All right, bye.
Oh.